Hello and good afternoon, Xbox Nation. This is a very special impromptu double barrel gaming presents. Obviously, I do have a intro that is specifically for that. I thought I had it loaded, but I had the other new one. Hopefully, you liked it. It's got some really Doom heavy music. And speaking of Doom, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're going to do for the next 30 or 40 minutes. We're going to sit here and we're going to talk about the super special announcement of not only one Doom controller, but two Doom controllers and a console wrap for the Xbox Series X. That was announced earlier this morning. We saw a lot of people posting on it. Stallion83 is the one I saw first, so shout out to him for posting it. That Doom controller looks sweet AF, but of course, we're gonna watch the once we get everyone in here, once I finish doing my intro, we're gonna watch the commercial. I think it's like under a minute long. Hopefully the video doesn't get flagged by Xbox for showing off it. And of course, I'll play some Black Ops 6 as we discuss it. But I want to thank everybody for being here. So you know what? While we wait for people to kind of file in, let me just welcome in Music 72, Master BKB Lubu, of course. We have King Webb, Quan the Terrible, Crispy Rambo, Big B Money, Live Supremacy, and Marty McFly. Good afternoon, everyone. Appreciate you popping in for, again, this is an impromptu podcast. It's not going to be long. I say 30 minutes, give or take, because what could you really say? But my God, ladies and gentlemen, I had to jump on before I worked out because the hype train for Xbox is just so insane right now. Like, I understand that the world is what it is, right? We're never gonna, shy away from what's going on in the world, but we all retreat to our safe spaces, and gaming is definitely that for us, right? Like we come and we game and we pick a game that we like and we enjoy it and we share that enjoyment with others, either through talking about it on podcasts, posting about it on your YouTube channel, writing a review for it on the socials, or even playing multiplayer, right? I mean, that's just what we do to kind of, get that steam out of us. But I mean, just looking at the big three, which is what we're here to talk about, right? PC is always going to be PC, and they are who we thought that they were, right? But when we are talking about gaming, most of us, especially people in this in the chat, and most of the people that are frequent our inner circles, we always talk about PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox, right? Right now, Nintendo, there's excitement. I'm excited for it. There's also some concern about tariff. There's concern about $80 and $90 games and what that could ultimately do for the industry as a whole. And it does, there is a slippery slope that they are walking upon with this variable pricing. So Nintendo, for a lot of people, is just not in the good graces of the community. Of course, PlayStation, for a whole bunch of reasons, isn't as well, right? They announced a price hike, in multiple countries. Not here yet, but I would imagine that's going to happen. There was a price increase in several countries for the PlayStation Plus, both the regular and the premium last week. That kind of flew under the radar. Now, for PlayStation as a whole, as a company, listen, they're the most popular brand. Make no mistake of that. And of course, Bungie had their announcement for Marathon, and it got some buzz, but was mostly lukewarm. And I know Sony kind of really needs Bungie to deliver with this, and let's hope that they do. Like for me, I'm not going to buy it. There's talk of a premium price. Some people like myself believe it's $40. Some other people have heard closer to the vest is that it's $60, that it's $59.99. And ultimately that's going to doom that game because it is an extraction shooter. It's only releasing with 3 maps. It's only releasing with 6 operators. It's not really kind of like what you would want for a full-priced game. And then there's Xbox, ladies and gentlemen. And I say that with the biggest possible cheese smile I could offer to you live on the air. And why is that? Why do I have this appreciation for what Xbox is doing? Well, again, before we get into the controllers and the wrap, and we're going to watch the video in a second, this is one of those conversations that I love having with you guys and gals. Obviously, one of the things I can't do because I'm solo is, actually type to everyone, because then, of course, I'm not going to be here talking to you. And that's a problem because I'm solo. But the thing is this: Xbox seems to be on this path. Some people will call it triumph. Some others in the community will call it redemption. From the ashes, they have now become this behemoth of a third party, publisher. Old guys like us still kind of feel a little weird about it, folks. You can throw that in the chat if you still feel a little odd about Forza Horizon 5 going over. I mean, the Trinity ultimately going over to PlayStation and even Nintendo. Yeah, it's weird. There's no doubt about it. But at the end of the day, of the big three console makers, it does seem that the one that continues to walk silently and carry a really, really big first party stick, pause, is Xbox, right? Like, we have yesterday the announcement of all of those all those games coming to Xbox Game Pass. Like, I'm gonna pull it up right now. I don't have it queued, but yeah, here it is. So Paris Lilly, gentleman of the community, incredible content creator, one half with Danny Pena, of course, on Gamertag Radio, and a big part of what they do over at Kind of Funny. On top of having his own YouTube channel, posted something that I thought was pretty brilliant. He says this, and this is 2 hours ago, folks. He says he has a picture of Xbox Game Pass and the coming soon banner. And there, I'll read over the list out of what games are coming soon. And he says, in this economy, the best value in gaming. And he's not wrong. And of course, that is Towerborn. That is Expedition 33, Modern Warfare 2, Grand Theft Auto 5, Crime Scene Cleaner, which is going to be interesting if you're into the cleaning stuff. The cleaning sims are pretty cool, and I've never seen a crime scene cleaner before. And being I'm an ex-cop, that is kind of interesting. A game called Dredge, Neon White, something with Patrick Star from SpongeBob, Anno 1800, Far Cry 4, and Tempopo, which I don't know what it is, but it looks like a platformer. And if it's a platformer, I actually might try it. But this is just one part of this amazing conversation that we're having. Episode 13, I will what do you call it? Drop the link in for what I'm talking about. I hate to say this, and don't kill the messenger, because I jumped on this ASAP. The Doom controller apparently is sold out. Not the Elite controller, which there is an Elite version of it, but the regular Doom Dark Ages controller is sold out. And the reason why I know that is because Clobriel had posted that it was like I think he said something to the effect like, and it's gone. And I mean, I would hope that they're gonna have more. I mean, everyone is gonna want this. It's one of the biggest games this year. Xbox is, if you're listening, and I know that you are, get some more of these controllers out there. People are going to want to buy them. People buy controllers. I'm actually later on, if I have time, if not today, tomorrow, I'm going to start sharing my control collection in groups of 4, because I have a lot of them. It's ridiculous. And what I have in storage is even more insane. But yeah, King Styles, he said, wow, I ordered mine in time. Good, good, good. Gray Fox 020, welcome, brother. He says, at least us bots get first party merch. I mean, you're not wrong. But again, I'm sorry I'm a little bit all over the place, because I'm excited, I'm happy, I'm here with you. I'm hanging out for the next 30 or 40 minutes talking about Xbox. And that's my favorite conversation to have, because right now, look, folks, just with the Game Pass, there is so much to get excited about. And the value proposition of what you're paying versus what you're getting is unlike anything else. Like I said, just if you look at the room, this is not an Xbox conversation, right? I'm not trying to be pointed and be like Xbox is better than everyone else. No, what they are is the currently the best value in gaming. And the amount of games that we're getting for the price of admission of $20, even if you are paying the $20, Like there are a lot of frugal gamers in here, like myself, that look to the CD keys and a few other locations that are legit. And whenever for me, the way I do it is whenever I go below having the 3 years locked in, and I go below 3 months, I buy a 3 months card. Now, most of the time, I get that card at a discount. I pay 29.33, whatever it was the last one I got from CD Keys. That was for 3 months of Xbox Game Pass. And I mean, if you think about it, folks, it's $20 plus tax. So just do the math. So of course I'm winning, right? I'm paying half the price and I'm getting value that's just ridiculous. Okay. So thank you, Freddie Fox. Thank you so much for that, brother. He says, boom, I just looked and the Doom controller is available again. You know what? Let me get that link. I hate to I probably should have had the link ready to go. Give me a second, folks. I hate doing this live on the air. Okay, so I have the Xbox Wire article, and I'm going to drop this into the chat, folks, and it has all the links available. So if you missed out on the initial run, here you go, folks. Check the chat. I literally just posted it, so there it is. Copy paste and go get yourself your control. The wrap is dope. It just everything is like really really well done, but the value proposition that we're getting isn't just it's a small part of the conversation, right? It really, really is. And I know that it's easy to, blurb out Xbox is dead, Xbox is going third party, Xbox is not making hardware, and we know all of that is false, right? Like even some of the most egregious websites are now starting to turn, or have they fully shifted to Xbox? Is hashtag best box? I don't think so, but they're eventually going to have to move that way because look at Sony. Sony has a game coming out that was announced that was immediately compared to Concord, right? Which is not great, right? That's nobody wants to see a studio go out of business. And Bungie is walking a razor's edge right now on that, right? A lot of the Bungie staff that we knew and love, they're gone. Bungie is starting to kind of mirror a little bit, and this is not being insulting, folks. This is just reading the room and being fair thought, having some fair thoughts here. They're starting to mirror BioWare a little bit, right? Like there is still an ideology of producing good games, but the leadership that produced all of the things that we knew and love about Bungie, whether that be Halo, whether that be Destiny Vanilla, or even Destiny 2, most of them are gone. That's the same thing with BioWare. Most of the BioWare staff that we knew and loved that made a lot of the original Dragon Ages and made Mass Effect and made Knights of the Old Republic, they're gone. They've been gone for years. So Nintendo kind of stepped in it with the pricing. We're still waiting. Supposedly next week, Jake Randall, if you don't know who he is, follow that dude on Twitter. Pretty knowledgeable guy when it comes to getting these pre-orders. He's like, that's like his claim to fame. And he says that supposedly next week, the 21st is Switch 2, 23rd is Switch 2 pre-orders for Canada. I don't know why it's a 2-day difference, and I don't know what the price is going to be, but I've already told you, I'm in for me and my nephew at 500 because then we get the console and we get the game. But if it's like a $700 deal, I'm that's boxed me out. But I got to get one for Tyler because that like many of you who have kids, nephews, tios, TTs, we all we live for the kids. So he's going to get a console because he's an A student and he deserves it. But then you look at PlayStation, the way they're moving, and you turn around and you say, well, they have a lot of stuff up against them, right? They're not consumer friendly. Their service doesn't offer a quarter of what Game Pass does. They do have a first party game from Bungie coming out that was met with a lot of questions, not enough answers, and very lukewarm interest. And then of course it's the roadmap. Like, what is going on with PlayStation first party? Well, we don't know because they're not telling us, right? Intergalactic, which I know a lot of people like, boo. Listen, I like Naughty Dog, folks. I'm sorry to you can throw the virtual tomatoes at me. It's fine. I hear you. Oh yeah, so Hargeet in the chat. Hargeet, if you want to jump in and kind of, well, you know what? Well, he's going to be on tonight. Don't forget, we're still having primetime gaming. Hargeet, just messaged if you got 5 or 10 minutes to jump in, you can talk about it because he just ordered the wrap and the elite, as you should, sir, because they look dope. Oh, so Jagger's throwing the virtual tomatoes at me. I get it, Jagger. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, you know what, Hargeet? Let me just get an invite going for you, brother. I'm going to email you right now. Again, this is live on the air, folks, so bear with me as I email Hargeet Channi. Jump in. The link has been sent, brother. Check your email. We'll get them in here in a hot second. Again, folks, if you just look at what the big three is doing, Xbox is, the whole hashtag Xbox better, Xbox butter, right? Like that's a thing. I don't know who started it. I actually think it started, if I'm not mistaken, in Reforge Gaming's chat. And this happened months and months ago, and that's been like a running thing. Like Xbox better. And they are, folks. They actually are. And again, this is shout out to West Philly '06. He said, "What a great month for Xbox gaming." Brother, welcome to the channel, brother. It's great to see you in here. And you know what? That's a great sentiment. It is because I know we're talking, and again, I'm going to wait for Hargeet to get in here, and then we're going to run the commercial so you guys and gals can check it out. I know it's been paused on the screen. Like, what is this, Diablo looking Xbox signal? We'll get to the commercial in a second when we get Hargeet in. But yeah, think about what Xbox is doing, folks. Like they are just killing it. I mean, yesterday the talk of the town was a Oblivion remastered, and we know that it's that it's a full on remake because you saw the one-to-ones, you saw the screens. So I did an appreciation post, and you know what? I didn't add him, and I feel like a total jerk for not because I talk about him all the time. And I knew I was going to forget somebody. Like, you ever do that? You ever, like, tag a bunch of people? Like, these are my favorite podcasters. And you forget someone. You're like, oh, my God, I forgot, Johnny Two-Tone. What a jerk I am. I forgot to add Ecstasies because that guy is connected in a way that I wish I had a quarter of the connections that dude has. Folks, he posted this morning, and we're going to talk about it tonight on Primetime Gaming, that Fallout 3 remastered is potentially happening. Like, and he said that it could be dropped soon. What's more interesting is before that particular posting, and you heard me talk about this, and we're going to talk about it tonight as well. Next week is supposed to be the Xbox partnered preview event. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that is like legit. I'm in. And that is just tip of spear of what Xbox is doing. Like, it is just crazy. So, you know what? While we wait for Hargeet and before we run the commercial, let me just catch up on some super chats here. We got a couple over here from our very generous friend, Will, the insider. So Chapo117 drops a very generous $5 super chat. Chapo, salute to you, kind sir. Thank you for the generosity. He says, I got the green Doom controller and console wrap. They will pair perfectly with my new Doom the Dark Ages helmet that came in 2 days ago. The hype is real. Mine's out for delivery, brother. So you know what? Hargeet. What's up, dude? How's everything?
Yeah, it's a good day. Another fun little thing that we get to buy. The wrap will replace my Call of Duty wrap.
Hashtag Xbox better. I think that we're on something here. Hargeet, we're going to run the commercial, but let me just read these last super chats. And of course, we have 3 of them from Do You, K Now, the Broke Boy Insider, Will, generous friend of the program, drops not 1, not 2, but 3 super chats. The first one of $2. He says, ordered all of the Doom, the Dark Ages items, boom, early today. Yes, I ordered all 3 as well. And what was crazy is I was panicking because I kept getting an error. And it's like that's because everyone was flooding, everyone was going crazy, right? Everyone was like, I got to get this thing, and I had to piecemeal them. Like I bought one and then bought another, and I was like, okay, I got my receipts. They already took the money. It's good, but I for a few minutes I was like, God, to the gaming gods. So he drops an additional $5 super chat and says they need to do at least a console wrap for all of their major releases. Would love to have a South of Midnight wrap. Shouldn't cost much to make. Brother, that is understatement of the year because I would have bought one for Avowed. I would have bought one for South of Midnight in a second. And this reminds me of the best days of the Xbox 360. Now, I'm not going to front here, folks. This is where the nerdism comes in for Boom. This is how you know I'm a full-on just nerd. How many people in the chat, let me see some hands here, owned more than 5 of the plates for your Xbox 360? Because I had about 20 of them. I used to import them. I used to see like designs that were made by people, and I would buy them. I even had the wood grain one, like because I'm an old man. I'm like, well, that wood grain one was like my pappy's music player from back in the days. I ordered that one as well. Hargeet, listen, I'm going to run the commercial, brother. Check this out. And again, I don't think we're going to get flagged because this is on Xbox, their site. But check it out, folks. Oh, you know what? Why is there no sound? What is happening? Oh, for the love of Joe. Hold on a sec, folks. Let me just let me rewind it. Here we go. The sound was off. We don't want sound off. We want sound on. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. So dope. Oh my God, that is so hot. Oh my God. Oh, that is just freaking awesome. So listen, we're gonna remove that. We're gonna add some Black Ops 6 to the background. Hargeet, you ordered did you order the regular controller? Oh
Nope,
no,
nope.
hold
The
on a
Elite.
second. Okay. Let me just get him out of there and just add that. So
Yeah, so I got the Elite and the wrap. I don't play with the normal controllers.
nice. Now you ordered the regular controller or the Elite?
The Elite controller.
Okay, you ordered the Elite. How come? Any reason or any particular reason why you didn't order the regular one as well? You're just like I need the best of the best of the best.
I don't. I generally just don't use the normal controller. I almost always have the Elite on everything.
Okay.
So my PC it's Elite, my Xbox it's Elite. So
I mean, listen, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. You know what? Let me just bring us down here because I like the big screen. So, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully, let me and Hargeet know if you got your hands on any of the 3, which will be the wrap, the controller, both controllers. But Hargeet, I was talking before, and I know that this is really just celebrating the release of the controller and the wrap, which the wrap looks freaking amazing, and that controller. The Elite controller, it's like 1-to-1. It pairs perfectly with it.
yeah.
We were saying that when you consider what's going on in the world, and again, we can't unacknowledge that there's a lot going on in the world, right? Some things that we can control, most we can't. And one of the things that we can control is how we spend our money. And unfortunately, for many people who have homes, who have children, who have mortgages, who have rent, who have school, bills. Gaming is a hobby. Gaming is not necessary for everyone. Everyone, some people will be like, I'll die without gaming. Boom, and I would be there with you because it's in our minds we would die, but in reality, it's just entertainment. And when you look at the big 3, and we're not talking about PC because PCs, they're elitists over there, and for good reason because they spend a lot of money on their stuff. When you talk about just consoles. And you talk about software for the consoles, it's hard to argue that Nintendo really stepped in it with $80 and $90 pricing, right? I think they're going to break the industry, in my opinion. And the fact that we talked about this last week on Prime Time, the wordage of um the uh the
Like
price scaling,
yeah, Doug Bowser.
it's yes, is incredibly, it's a slippery slope. Sony,
Yeah.
on the other hand, they raised prices on consoles. Now it hasn't happened here in the States yet, and I think that's gonna change. Is Xbox gonna do it? Well, potentially, but right now Sony did it first. Like they did the
Mhm.
price increase with the games at the start of this generation at $70. They're probably gonna go to $80 anytime soon. They don't have a roadmap. Their service is not as good as Xbox, not even a quarter good as Xbox. And then you have something like Doom: The Dark Ages, Avowed, and South of Midnight, three first-party exclusives, and one, of course, is
Well,
a
Doom
multi-plat.
isn't. Just to be
Yeah,
fair,
you're right, right.
Doom is not.
Doom is not. Doom is it's a multi-plat. But the point that I'm trying to make here is those three games, Hargeet, are in a service that you pay $20 a month. Now, granted, if you want to buy the game, go ahead and buy the game, but you don't
Yep.
have to. You can
Yep.
upgrade for $30 on most of their exclusive. You did it with Avowed. You could do it with Doom. You did it with South of Midnight for $10. It is really hard to say that Xbox is losing here when they are really treating the customers like first class citizens. And again, we've heard this before. Xbox, getting rid of exclusives treats their fans like second class citizens. I mean, I guess if exclusives are that important to you, yeah, I guess. But when you consider what they're doing in an economy the way it is, like I said, I had posted something that Paris. Well, I talked about something that Paris posted. He has the Xbox Game Pass list coming for for this month, and he says in this economy, it's the best value in gaming. And it's a very simple statement, but it's heavy in its substance. Let's get your thoughts on that, man.
Yeah, and just a note, public service announcement: you can still get the collector's edition on the Bethesda website if you want to get it for Doom of the Dark Ages.
Yes, you
It's still
certainly
available
can,
for
sir.
Xbox. So if anybody wants to pick it up, you can still get it. It has that cool Doomslayer, like the statue. It looks really nice. So, if somebody still wants to get it, it's still available. Yeah, I mean, look, for those who did that, I did that as well, the collector's edition. So I bought the game, right? But it is still, it will be in Game Pass for anybody who wants to buy, just play it. They can. But look, we get other games from other developers as well, like Clair Obscur is coming out. We got Eternal Strands, and we got Sniper Elite, and on and on and on, right? There's so many games that come in besides that Adamfall, right? So far, and there's plenty more to come. So, and then of course we still have all the games that Xbox puts out. And the cool thing is, let's say South of Midnight is not something that looks like it's your jam. For you, it's just a download. Try it. If you like it, play it. You don't like it, move on, right? That's the beauty of this model, right? The alternative is what you're seeing on PlayStation and Nintendo. Nintendo's like, we're going to milk you for everything we possibly can. And PlayStation is basically doing the same thing. We're going to, charge you 110, whatever it is for, the Last of Us remastered. However many times they're going to do that. How much you want to bet in 2 years is going to be another Last of Us release?
Oh, there's going to be one for the PS6 in 2029. Absolutely.
So, they just keep re-releasing it. The reason is people buy it. If you're going to keep doing that, then they're going to keep selling it to you. And that's the way they're doing it, right? It feels like I'll expand my horizons to more places so I can get more customers. The other two are like, nope, we're just going to keep having our same customers keep paying more and more and more and more. Hey, if that's your jam, go for it. That's what they're going to keep doing. You heard it from, Ashura Yoshida, right? They need you to buy those remasters because that's how they're funding their games, right? They're not trying to expand to say, hey, why don't we put this on Switch? Why don't we put this on Xbox? Let's put, they're at least going to PC, right? Their answer to everything is let's extract as much value as we can from our current customer instead of expanding to more customers, right? So, and maybe they're trying to do that in the background, right? But that is kind of their current thing. And you keep looking at it over and over again. They keep remastering and remastering and remastering and it's like, okay, when are you gonna have new games? So, on the flip side, now it's kind of like the flip flop of PS4 and PS5, right? With PS4, they had games over there at least a few more than the Xbox side did, right? And now you kind of have the opposite where Xbox is just piling it on. There's so many games. And to be fair, Nintendo keeps putting out games as well. First party,
Yeah, no,
they have
they still keep
8 to
doing what they do.
10-ish
They're
every year.
Nintendoing, as the kids like to say.
Right. But I'll say that the budget levels for their games are lower.
Yeah.
But they do put out games. Fair enough. They put out games. But PlayStation, they are a little bit lower in that. And, they're going to have to kind of compete if they want to keep going. And, I don't know if I think you might have heard this one, but I was talking to Gaming Forte, as we all know in the community. He works at GameStop, and just anecdotally, he's seeing people swap a PS5 for a Series X. They're trading in their PlayStations for Series X because they're just seeing like the value of Game Pass and the games. There's just games. There's actual games. Ultimately, that's what players want to play. They want games, right? There are people out there who want to play Twitter and console wars. Good for you. Most players just want to play games. Like, you want to have something to play. And yes, they still have all the third-party stuff that's going to release on PlayStation. Fair enough. But you just look at the amount of games that are coming out on the Xbox side, and you look at that value of like, I pay how much for Game Pass? I get a Call of Duty and I get all this stuff. It starts to add up. It just starts to add up, right? So this is just going to keep happening. The enthusiasm gap that I keep talking about, right? The
Yes.
showcases, you're going to keep seeing tons of games coming out from one side, and we're yet to see that killer showcase from PlayStation besides like the first one, maybe. Like I think that basically has been it, right? They had that first showcase. They showed you Ragnarok. They showed you Horizon, right? They showed you all these games coming. Great. Since then, what have they done? It's been pretty ridiculous, right? And I don't know when they're going to have their next showcase that's going to really like blow people away. The last one they had was 23, I think, when they actually had a showcase, and it like got like D's, I guess. Like it was really bad rating.
It was rated very low. It was
right.
Yeah.
So it did not do well. And pretty much like maybe like 2, 3, 4 years ago or something onwards, like maybe 3-ish years onwards, Xbox has had like B or higher for their showcases. They have just been killing it. Ever since like Tina Mini started and went over to Xbox's showcase team, like they have just been killing it. It's been crazy. Now, it could just be a confluence of like they actually have games to show, but they also are just doing the right things. Like the dev directs have been pretty good, right? They've been doing a pretty good job, even though like the indie showcases have been pretty good. So they've been really killing it. And like eventually you're gonna see this enthusiasm thing. Unfortunately, Nintendo really stepped in it. So
Yeah,
I don't know what's gonna happen there. Like I think they're gonna be okay, but like I haven't seen this much ire against Nintendo from Nintendo fans. It's been kind of crazy. So it's an interesting time. But yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Some of the statements that Doug Bowser made were just kind of like head scratching. I don't know why you would make those kind of statements as a CEO, but they did. And $80, justifying $80 for Mario Kart, like just get out of here. I don't even know what they're talking about. It's not even a Zelda or a Mario like mainline game. But yeah, the value you're getting on Xbox is fantastic, and I hope they do more of these like accessories. They used to do a ton of these things. They used to be consoles.
Yeah.
This is great because it's really just pure profit, right? There's not much to this. It's just get somebody to make the actual wrap, right? They have to just create the graphic. That's it. They just create the graphic, and I'm sure they're not doing it in house.
It is copied. I guarantee you, this thing cost them $5 to make.
Yeah,
in mass
and
production.
they're making like a good amount of money here.
10
it's like,
times
why not?
that amount. 10 times. It's $54.99.
And I would love them to just do this in general in the design lab. To just say every game we release, every partner game, there's a design lab that you can make it to your Elite or your standard controller, right? And just whatever, pay the premium, fine. Who cares? People will do it.
Yes,
how many of us have bought this thing, right?
Yeah.
Whatever, right? Do I need it? No, but I'm getting it. So it's just extra money for nothing, right? So I don't understand why they don't do more of these things. They used to do a ton of them, but now they've kind of shied away from it. But they have so many games, and like some of these, like the design patterns on the wrap or the controller could be really interesting, right? And if it resonates with you, you know, like why not sell this? Like put them all in Design Lab, get the extra money, right? Charge extra. Who cares? People will pay it. It doesn't matter. So I'm just curious why they don't do that. But at least we got Doom. We got Doom.
Yes.
Hopefully they'll do it for other ones. Ninja Gaiden would be awesome, right? But let's see what they do. Outer Worlds 2, right? So I don't know if the next Call of Duty will have it as well, but they need to kind of do more of these.
Well, a couple of things. Again, this is one of those podcasts, folks. It's impromptu, so it's going to be all over the place. It's probably not going to be any real show notes. You're just going to have to listen to the 30. We'll go 45-ish minutes. But you know, to your point, and I know people from Xbox listen, and I've already given away I think at least $3 million ideas, which I would get no credit for. It's fine, right? It's fine. But you know, to your point. And again, folks, don't throw the virtual tomatoes because I sound like a corpo asshole. Like I'm just trying to do the business of things here where it makes sense, right? You know, the old saying, if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make dollars, or it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense, right? Either way that you put it. So to your point, Hargeet, Xbox Design Labs is brilliant. And it's brilliant because there are a couple of things that they don't have to do like they did back in the days, right? For instance, I know people are going to be like, Boom, you are insane. But they released 5 different controllers for what was the vampire game that everyone hated? Why can't I think of it?
Redfall.
God, I can't believe I forgot that. And you know something? I bought all 5. I did. Yes, I know. Boo, Boom, you're crazy. I loved that game, and each of the controllers were freaking dope. Now, they were through Xbox Design Labs, and they had a coat of paint that looked like what they were trying to sell for Redfall, and each one was different, but you could change it, the button colors and everything to your liking. I left it the way it was because I liked every one of the controllers. The same thing happened with the Fallout one. The Fallout one was it was the same thing. Now the Doom controller is not. The Doom controller is not through Design Labs. It's going to have a box. It's going to be produced somewhere. It's going to have to be shipped. Why Hargeet's idea for moving forward? This is how they should do these special edition controllers is brilliant, because if they offer it through Xbox Design Labs, it's done by order. So there's no warehouse that they're paying that's going to be sitting. Now, granted, these controllers are probably going to sell out anyway, but Hargeet, they don't have to make the boxes because they come in the standard white plain ass box that's Design Lab. So they're not designing the box. And the controller is made to order. So of course, if 1,000 people order the controller, they make 1,000 of those controllers and they sell them. So there's no overhead. There's no wasted spendage. And again, I know people are boo, I just want to play games. I'm right there with you. I want to play games, but if we want nice things, you got to come up with a business plan, and that's mine. And it's funny, you just mentioned Ninja Gaiden. I just found out, and I don't know who sent this to me, that there is a new Ninja Gaiden that has not been announced. At least I don't remember it was announced. It's called Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, and it is a 2D side scroller. So
is that already out, or is that coming? Because I know there was something else that was also happening.
Yeah, you know what? I guess I missed that announcement. Yeah, it's called Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. It is I just watched it. Well, it's when is this from? Hold on a sec. This is posted. When the hell was this posted? I'm trying to look. This is posted an hour ago. This is Ninja Gaiden Ragebound reveal trailer. I did not know about this. Yeah, this is posted an hour ago. So if you guys and gals want to see it, we'll hang out here for a few more minutes. Let me do a screen share.
So I see one that's 4 months ago.
Okay, so it is. All right,
Ragebound official reveal.
All right, so it's old news. I'm sorry. You know what? I don't know why did not resonate with me, but another.
Yeah, it might have been on Keeley's stage in the Game Awards.
Oh, maybe that's why I didn't realize.
because I think that's when it was. Yeah, I remember that they had another Ninja Gaiden. I'm like, whoa, hold
Okay.
on. So,
Well, there you go. So the new Ninja Gaiden, folks, but you happen to make mention of it. And I was like, wait, something. This just popped into my feed, and I didn't even remember that it was showing at Keeley. Not to say that I don't really care about what Keeley does, but I don't really care.
yeah,
What Keeley
so we got a DUK now. The Brooke Lewis, he just mentioned it. Yeah, they announced.
Yeah.
It
So
at
you
the
know what? Let
TGA.
me just catch up on super chats, and then we'll get everyone out of here. Again, this was an impromptu podcast. Hopefully, you enjoyed the conversation enough to hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe, and do not forget, we'll be back tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be talking about the rumored Fallout 3 remastered, and of course, why I believe that is 1,000% real is because the Oblivion remastered was announced. Well, not announced. It was found out to be a thing in the court documents during the ABK trial. That has come to fruition. That is a fact, folks. We saw the screeners yesterday. Everyone was posting them. They're real. So I would imagine that the Fallout announcement is happening. And of course, back ending that conversation will be the other Ecstasy's news bomb that he dropped yesterday. And that is the Xbox preview, partnered preview event. And that's happening supposedly next week. That's going to be very interesting. Do we finally, for the love of the gaming gods, ladies and gentlemen, get the Final Fantasy VII remake announcement for 2025? I don't know, but I feel that like the last licks that poor Xbox has gotten and its gamers, like everyone's got this announced except for Xbox gamers. It's crazy. Hopefully that gets fixed, but let's see. So of course, Will, the Broke Boy Insider says double show tonight. Boom. Wednesdays usually at night. Yeah, we're gonna do again. I just happen to be cleaning the house, and I was like, you know what? I can go live for 30 or 40 minutes. I'm retired. Let's go. So here we are. Gray Fox 020 drops a very generous £2 super chat and says, just some support. Greetings from Amsterdam. Well, greetings from New Rochelle, New York, brother. Thank you so much for being here. Great that you're here, and thank you for the generosity. Will drops a couple of super chats, additional ones. The first one of $5 says, I ordered the collector's helmet, the Doom Collector's Edition with the 12-inch statue, the wireless controller, the Elite controller, and the console wrap. Guess what, brother? I matched every one of those because I'm a big nerd and I love this kind of collectible shit. And if they sell it, I'm probably buying it. He drops two more $2 super chats. And the first one, he says, oh shit, look at the wireless controller buttons. Yes, they are like demon writing. So it's not just A, B, X, Y. They look like the hieroglyphics from Doom, which is dope. And it says, okay, so he also goes on to say, and you said this, they announced the side scroller at the TGA pre-show. I guess I missed that, dude. That's crazy. Like I you think you're in it, right? But I missed it. But thank you so much for that. Hargeet, obviously we're going to be back tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be me, UK, Asante. We have a lot to get into. Tomorrow afternoon, once again, I will be with a new co-host. It will be Mav from Fun Speculation. Will be joining me tomorrow because tomorrow is C Money's daughter's birthday, so he won't be attending the show because obviously family first. He'll be back the following week, and we'll continue to do our thing. And of course, Friday morning's Breakfast at Boom is going to have a very special opening and closing. That's right. My nephew, Tyler, is going to be learning how to podcast, and his Theo is going to teach him all the tricks of the trade. He will be opening and closing Breakfast with Boom Friday morning. But again, folks, right now, Xbox is all Xbox gamers. I really believe this are on a high. We are winning. We are winning not only with first-party games and controllers and wraps and news bombs. Just every day, it's something new, positive for Xbox. It's not just all of that. It's all of that in a bag of chips, and that bag of chips is Xbox first party. And they just continue to hit and hit and hit. And mind you, Hargeet, we haven't even gotten to June. And when that showcase finally happens, you would imagine that there's going to be some big announcements for games that have not been announced for the second half of 2025. Forget what's coming out in 2026. Me and Fuzzy the other day were just kind of shooting the shit on one of the shows, and we were like, oh yeah, State of Decay, Fable, this, that. And 2026 looks to be so bombastic that the playing field is unfair. Like what Xbox is doing is almost ridiculous. But Hargeet, let's sell your brand, brother. You obviously wrote a book last year called Emergence. It is like Mass Effect. And I'd like to see people read the book because it's a really good book. And of course, he has his own YouTube channel on top of being a part of like 19 other shows. And of course, we want you to get over there to check out his YouTube channel and subscribe there. Hargeet, sell the brand, brother. Where can they do all of that and a bag of chips?
And a bag of chips, right? Yeah, so my channel is Hargeet Channi 1 on YouTube. Check it out at 926 or so.
Oh my god,
trying to get to 1,000. Let's get to 1,000. So we'll get there soon, hopefully. And then if you want to pick up my book, Emergence, shop.channi.us, check that out. And yeah, we'll be on tonight at 7. And then I'll be on, hopefully, I don't know what's going on for Friday with C Money and Doodle, but usually we're on for night shift. So we'll see if they're still doing that. 8 p.m.-ish US Eastern time. So I'll play for gamers. And then we'll be back for Fonz's podcast. We'll be doing that again. We kind of skipped it last time. Same thing as C Money. He had a family engagement. So we skipped last week, but we'll be back this Saturday, 6 p.m. US Eastern time. And then Sunday with Web Dave, 7 p.m. US Eastern time. Check those out as well.
Yeah, so folks, listen, what we're going to do to open up tonight's primetime gaming is going to be a Get Hargeet Channi to 1,000 subscribers a-thon. We're going to spend 10 minutes selling his brand, folks. Listen, I don't like asking for, I'll never ask for myself outside of, hey, hit the sub, like button, whatever. I'm a giver. And Mrs. Boom and I, that's what built this channel from the ground up. We're givers. We love doing it. We don't do it because we feel obligated. We do it because we love you guys and gals. And we want to give back as much as we can. Trust me, I'm the guy that gives you the shirt off his back, who doesn't have a six-pack and would be embarrassed because I'm not there yet, but would still give you the shirt off my back. And what I do want to see is Hargeet has not only been a big part of Double Barrel Gaming for years, he's been a big part of this community in so many ways that it's countless. And he's, asking for 73 people to sub his channel. I don't think it's a big ask. So what I'm going to do is to open up tonight's show. If you're there early, please consider subscribing. I ask you as your friend. And again, I don't like to ask for, I'll never ask for myself, but I will ask for others because that's what this whole game is about. It's about helping others, folks. And I want to see him get to 1,000 subscribers. We've done that for a lot of people in this community. It's something that this channel prides itself on doing, and that's helping others. So, Hargeet, that's what we're going to do to open up primetime gaming this evening. Folks, I'll have the link ready to go, and I ask that you kind of help me help him. And he's one of the community's finest, folks. He does a lot for this community. He does great YouTube videos. Asking for 70-something people to subscribe, honestly, not that big of a deal. And I'd be incredibly grateful if, in fact, you did that. But with all of that said, I want to thank all of the super chats and the channel member chats that popped in here, as well as the channel memberships that continue to not only be purchased by people who like the show, but gifted by several people in the community that consistently do that. And of course, I'm going to close out the show with something that's incredibly important to me, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully one day it'll be important to you. And that's something that my dad taught us when we were kids. And he would say, Craig, treat others how you want to be treated. And also, it doesn't cost anything to be nice. You live by those rules, son. I can guarantee you're going to have an awesome day. So take care, everyone. And we'll see you next time on the newest episode of Double Barrel Gaming Presents.